Hello, welcome to the listening show. I almost mentioned the wrong show. This is the one that you can listen to. For myself, if I get confused again, if you're confused, this is the listening one. I was laughing almost because you had to lean into frame to try to get to our little board because I didn't notice that last time. I guess last time you started the episode, so I wouldn't have noticed you leaning so much. Oh, okay, I was supposed to switch the camera to you.
No,
well,
you don't have to. Look at that. Drinking this.
I like the idea of going, look at that. There's nothing in particular.
So I've got this wine.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be cold?
Mm-hmm. It is cold.
Is it special? And if it is, why is it special?
Special because it's Menage a Trois Midnight. And then it says, let the deep, dark magic of midnight embrace you.
That sounds
velvety
pretty
blackberry
hot.
Flavors linger on your lips like a stolen kiss. Which sounds rapey, but
now I want some.
Have a sip. I needed to stand up. Okay. I'm going to sit like a pregnant lady once again.
That's less than a sip. I've only had wine, I think, that one time before.
This is adult wine because it's Cabernet.
So why is that? I don't
it's
know.
Dry. It's like drier.
Well, I like it.
I like it a lot, but I haven't obviously liked it that much because it's been in there for like a month and a half. And I was like, tonight's the night. So
doesn't it get better with age?
Sure.
Let's go with that. Yeah. Yeah, I only had wine once before. You know when that is. I don't know if you remember, but it was one time before.
I remember it.
Okay.
Can I tell it?
Sure, but then I get to interrupt and tell you how wrong you are whenever I feel like it.
We got our nails did.
Wrong already. You're already wrong.
We got our feet taken care of.
That's right. It was the foot fetish one.
Yeah, we went and we got pedicures. We went to we were in Colorado Springs, I believe, and we had a day to kill because my friend was busy all day and your friend was busy all day. We both have like separate friends in that state, so we both drove together to see our friends.
And the first half of that, I was like, "What's happening?" The second half, I know what's happening.
We saw our friends.
It was worth it.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
it smells bad. But then we
went to an Italian place. I can't remember how that came about. But then you had the idea out of nowhere. Hey, you want to get your feet done? I was like, I've always wanted to try it. And he goes, well, we should do it because we're not doing anything. And I said, okay, let's look up a place. And you looked and there's a place right here in the area that we're at. We can walk there. Okay. We walked there. And is that rain?
It sounds like it, but
I hope it is. It goes with the wine. But anyhow, I won't say how our experience was. You can continue the story if you want.
Well, what was your experience?
Oh, well, it was so we got our feet did. So it wasn't just the feet and nails, it was all the feet.
Yeah.
And the reason I was curious to do is because I neglect my feet in that I walk barefoot most of the time. So my feet aren't like nasty by any means, but they're not like soft. So I was wondering how they're going to do that. And they did it with a cheese grater.
That's one part of it, yeah.
And that was the part I remember the most. And so they used a cheese grater on my feet. And what fell off looked like mozzarella, shredded mozzarella. Mm-hmm. Super gross. And
I was excited to talk about this.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm less excited now because I'm recalling the mozzarella. I was making jokes and you were making jokes. My feet didn't need that because I have sweet baby soft sweet boy feet. And they are sweet like that because I have to wear socks at work.
Yeah.
And socks do this thing where they keep your feet moist, which like the moisture. Well, I can't say I love it, but I do have extremely soft feet because I think the sock protects the feet from a lot of the external stuff. So I wear those. I had soft feet. They did not use a cheese grater on me. They used a nail filing thing a little bit, tiny little bit on the toes.
that's all?
Yeah, but and then they also like shampooed my leg hair. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they lathered our feet up to like halfway up to our knees with lavender, and they were wearing gloves, so it felt like it was half medical, half sensual. It was kind of confusing. You know, like doctors will use rubber gloves. I don't see the
difference, but
well, the difference is the rubber gloves, because while someone would essentially rub your legs, the medical gloves made it strange.
Not for me.
You know, the hand condoms. That was
protection.
Protected foot massage.
You don't want HTDs.
Oh man, is that toe?
Hand transmitted diseases. It was a good time. They gave us wine, basically.
They gave us a menu, like a drinking menu.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know what. I've never had alcohol at that point. And then you picked something, and then you picked what was the wine? It was
probably another Cabernet. And I remember you said it's icky grape juice.
I said like, okay, I'll try whatever he's trying. Mm-hmm. And then I
told you, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say it's icky grape juice. And then that's exactly what you said. I don't remember. Actually,
what
I think you modified it.
You said you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
I think it's too, you're not.
But in my head, I was thinking, I know he's going to call it grape juice and say it's icky or something.
That's right.
But I don't remember.
I called it spicy communion.
Spicy communion.
That's what I called it.
Thank you. Yeah. Which is silly.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So, yeah, it was like one of the few alcohols I had sipped before at the time. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little jealous you have a special alcohol. Tell me the story about how you got that one, because I was just thinking about the one other. I guess I've had two. I'll tell those stories later. Why is that one special?
It's not. I walked up to the liquor store on a Tuesday one day because I was an alcoholic, and I was like, I think I need more than what I can have in a day. So I've had this in my fridge, though, because I'm not an alcoholic.
And you said that was a month and a half ago?
It's at least. Yeah. It might be months. It might be 3 months. I don't know. This has just kind of been a mainstay in the fridge.
Yeah. Did you move that in the fridge? Because I noticed it by my milk jug this morning. I don't remember that being there. But you're saying it's always been in the fridge. So did you move it there? And if you did, why?
We had company over the other night, and they opened it.
Oh.
So they were like, "Hey, you got wine? Can we have it?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I do have wine. I just forgot it was there." And yes, we can have it. And then, like, because it's like an adult version of a thing, they were like, "It's too bitter." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, just let me enjoy it because I do, please." And then
I didn't think it was bitter.
No, it's not. They're just like lame. Bitter. They are.
Yeah, that's what the problem is.
They were women, and they were like, "I only like white wine and fruity. Where's the Truly?" And so I was like, "Okay, there's Trulies in there too for you and your child tastes." I shouldn't judge because I've also had child tastes before, but I've grown out of them.
They're bitter and they're Truly.
Right.
They're Truly bitter.
Yeah, the Trulies are like sweet. Like it's like lemonade but alcohol.
Yeah.
And that's what they want. That's what they like. And I again try not to judge that, but now I think that's just gross. And because they judged me for this, they're like, "I can't believe you drink that. It's like dirt water or what." I don't remember what they say, but then it's like, well, if you do that to me, I'm going to do that to you because what you taste is like a liquid manifestation of cupcake. That's what you like to drink, and that's gross.
Yeah.
That's bad for you. You're going to be fat if you drink cupcake in real life. But I'm going to be like cool and awesome. I'm going to have like a lounge where I'm going to have candlelit fires and cool books written by like Ernest Hemingway. That's what I'm going to have. I'm going to smoke cigars and wear a golf hat and talk to my friends about golf. Okay? I've never played a golf in my life, but you better watch out. Otherwise, I'm going to sue you in the court of law. Fuck those girls.
I'm just waiting for it. It's heading that way. I was just waiting for it. I'm glad you hit it. Just
Happy Monday.
Let him go.
Yeah.
He's heading there.
He's like, just let him rant.
Yeah. Do you remember it was when we started the show, or soon after we started, so not a year ago. I think I mentioned it a week or two ago. We had a gold vodka bottle.
2 days ago. You mentioned that 2 days ago.
Oh, was it really?
AU, yeah.
Yeah, Gold AU. I looked it up because it was a gift from people in Europe, and I assumed it was only there, and that is the case. You can pretty much only get it there in Europe. And it was really good, and I wish we could have more, but I guess it'd be kind of complicated to order more. They have more flavors than that. They had the ones that looked really good. They had watermelon. I was like, watermelon vodka?
That's interesting.
Because what we had was blueberry, and it was very good. And I was like, I bet the watermelon would be really good. And then there was a third red one, which I think was strawberry. I was like, shoot, I want to try those. Anyhow, now that you have a special fancy drink, I wish I had.
Do you want another sip of this one?
Sure. I'll drink about as much as you'll let me have. I'll mention one other special drink with a less interesting story, but worth mentioning.
We did it for Christmas. We were celebrating Christmas with that drink, so we could specially arrange the shipment of another.
Yeah, we should.
Another one for Christmas time. We have several months.
I don't know if this is indicative of the quality, but it was like $53 US a bottle. I was like,
That's not bad.
it's about that size. It wasn't stupid expensive.
It's
but
not bad at all.
I wonder what shipping would be. If you could buy them individually and have them shipped here, probably be kind of expensive. That's why I was like, But
Get like a
yes, for
4-pack.
Christmas. Yeah, for Christmas, that'd be good. So the other one was from the same people in Europe. They sent me a champagne, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. And I held on to it for a few months, and I was like, I'm never going to drink this. I don't drink alcohol. I don't know anybody who drinks alcohol. I didn't. If I had lived here with you at the time, I may have given it to you. But I didn't. I was like, well, I'm not going to. There's so many things I'm going to hold on to. So eventually, reluctantly, I just dumped it all down the drain, which I didn't think much of at the time. I was like, okay, logically, this is what to do. And then, months later, I started to try alcohol, and I was like, shoot, I wish I had tried that champagne. Maybe it was really good. So, I didn't just dump it without thinking about it, but it sucks. Anyway, not as interesting of a story.
Champagne's yummy. It's yummy.
It's bubbly and white, right? Or is it
Yeah, but
sometimes?
it's not white in the sweet kind of way. It's not syrupy white. It's actually kind of refined. It's still very sweet, but it's not syrupy at all.
Syrupy is a good word to describe the wine you were just talking about that the girls like. I imagine that'd be syrupy and that it's just overly sweet.
Yeah, well, Truly is like more like a juice, I guess. But the wine they like is syrupy too, just as like a reference point.
And I'm not an alcohol connoisseur, but that's what I would not want. I would want something not necessarily bitter, but not like a liquid candy. I don't want a Jolly Rancher in a bottle. I want something more distinguished, which so far I like what you said. I don't know if it's your favorite alcohol, but Crown Royal Apple.
Crown Royal.
Yeah, that's when if I feel like being masculine for like 15 minutes, I'll sit in a chair quietly and have 2 shots with some ice and a little square. And
How many fingers? Like 2 fingers?
Just 2 or 3. It was like 2 shots worth. So I don't know if it comes to 2 or 3 fingers because I've measured it and everything. But like having that to be like, yes. And Bud Light, I enjoy quite a bit. It's basic, but it's nice. There's so many alcohols that I haven't tried. I'm going on a bit, and I have a question for you, but I was going to ask you what I should try next. And I asked my brother that, who worked at a liquor store. I wanted to say a liquor store for a few months, and he got really learned on everything, and he drank a lot for a while. I don't think he does anymore. Not addicted or anything. He just happened to know a lot about it by experience. So I asked him, what different alcohol should I try next? He goes, try tequila. There's 2 main kinds. There's clear and there's yellow. And he explained why they're different and why I needed to try both. I couldn't remember, so I bought them both. And this is closer to the time when I could drink a lot of alcohol. I had some whiskey, like a couple shots. And then I had he told me to buy shooters. I didn't know these were a thing. Just shots, and you can buy individually in a glass. Like, oh, that's a good idea. So I had a yellow one and a bright one. I tried the yellow one. It was kind of like nasty, but they were supposedly the nice versions. And then I had this clear one. And then after this clear one, which was worth like 2 shots. So 5 shots of alcohol in total. And when I can take much more, wow, that was a special kind of drunk. It was like an aggressive, I had a specific word for it. You were trying to tell me, because I told you this story basically, that tequila, you said it's called the angry liquor? Or did you say
it
it
makes
was called?
people pissed off? Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't make me angry, but it felt like a furrow in my forehead. It was very strange. Anyway, I bought more after that, and I was not able to replicate the experience. That was kind of strange. Anyway, my question is, considering what I've had, which I've basically already mentioned everything I've had, if I wanted to try something different, what would be a different kind of alcohol?
Rum.
Yeah. I think I had a sip of honey something downstairs. What is that rum or is it
Pineapple?
Pineapple? Is it rum? Because it tasted good.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty strong. It kind of tastes beachy. That's why I like it. Not bitchy, but beachy. Beach. As in like from the beach.
My favorite word.
Yeah.
One of them.
I was waiting for you to say it again after I said beach.
I held it
and
back.
I looked at you. Yeah. You were like,
tempted. I'm like a dog and you said walk. I'm like,
yeah, I know. Yeah. No, there's like a lot of jokes about alcohols and like if you drink too much, how it makes you feel. And everybody's like, yeah, that's how it works basically. And if I don't drink a lot of vodka and tequila, and I don't drink a ton of rum. I mostly stick to like whiskey, wine, and like beers.
So
sometimes
how is rum,
IPAs.
How is rum different than
Rum just kind of tastes earthier. Rum is sort of,
Huh.
It's
That was
ki-
very strange. It must be a good word because as soon as you said that, I had some kind of recollection of what it tasted like to me.
yeah. Yeah,
kinda
it just
came
sort of
back.
tastes. I think that's the
Earthier is
best
a good
word for
word.
it. It doesn't taste dirty. It just tastes of the earth. And like whiskey's kind of like that, but whiskey's like I imagine if rum is the earthy part, like the dirt, I imagine whiskey as like the
Everything.
tree. Like it grows out of the earth, but it's a little bit higher. Like I don't know if that makes much
No, I get
figurative
it.
sense, but vodka usually they sort of compare vodka as the liquor that if you drink too much, it's like you got punched in the face and you're very dizzy. And that's been my experience with it. I don't not like vodka at all. Tequila kind of
At
makes tequila makes you passionate and angry. You know, they use the same basically. Like it makes angry people angrier and passionate people more passionate.
Yeah, and I'm talking about how the different kinds of alcohols make you feel, not so much how they taste. I'm not saying, stop telling me how it's earthy. I mean, if I wanted to have a different experience, right? Because different alcohols have this different kind of experience. What's the rum experience? Because you said what vodka is, and
I've had it before, but I honestly I wasn't paying attention to. I think most of when I was trying out alcohol and stuff, the experiences were not that time of my life. I wasn't worried about the experience of the alcohol.
I just worried about getting drunk. That's all I cared about.
Well, it was either that or I was like paying attention to girls or something. Like I wasn't concerned with how the alcohol was making me feel. I was just like, don't behave like a jackass, or kind of doing that sort of thing.
Burdened with glorious purpose.
I don't know if it was all glorious. I think it was probably not, but
Horniest purpose.
probably something closer to that. I don't know. That was in my past. Now I know what I like and I stick to. I mean, like I always venture out. Like I didn't always like mules, and now I really like mules. I
You
really
mean the Moscow mules or
any mules, yeah.
Right. Okay.
But Moscow mules is like like one of the main types of mules. There's all kinds of mules though, and they're all pretty good.
Beer is like probably the most relaxing, easy kind of alcohol experience, I think, probably.
Yep.
And then whiskey is probably number 2 for me of the ones I'm familiar with. And then I'd go with vodka. I think vodka and whiskey to me are very similar, but when you describe punched in the face, I understand that. So my question is, at least with the top 3, rank order your favorite alcohol experience type.
My favorite alcohol experience, like if I wanted to feel very good and have a very
Or whatever experience
like
you want to
fun night.
have. If you want to be depressed and you want to drink whiskey, if whiskey makes you depressed, you can make it number 1. But
Wine is my favorite tipsy by far. Like really rich, good wine, not the sugary stuff, because that's the worst. It's one of the worst. I think vodka's the worst, but wine, like gross, like crappy wine, if you're kind of tipsy or if you feel the effects of that, I think it's just the worst feeling because you just feel sick and your throat feels sticky and then you're uncoordinated. But like high quality wine, if you just have like a few glasses of that, then you can just like feel just very zen.
I got to
And
try
like,
that.
I just like how that one makes me feel the best. Beer's okay. I just too much of that and you just want to keep going because beer's kind of, it's easy to just keep pounding those because they're not super alcoholic kind of thing. But I do like that if I just want to have like a couple and then call it a night. That's the most convenient. Wine is sort of the one where it's like, even if I have a glass, I'm going to feel something kind of thing.
So wine's number 1.
Yeah.
And then
good wine.
Is beer number 2?
Yeah, beer and whiskey are kind of a close tie, but I would give the nod to beer because I like more beers than I like whiskeys. I like very few whiskeys.
Just to be clear, when I say experience, I don't mean the convenience of ingesting it. I mean the kind of drunk that it gives you.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
Well, I also don't like pursue alcohol to get drunk anymore.
But if you did,
rarely. Well, I don't.
It's tipsy, buzz, whatever the alcoholic influence. Which one has the best alcoholic influence? Or which alcohol is your most favorite influence? If I can say any better.
I would say I have three. Well, there's four types that I go default to most easily, and one is like hard seltzers or ciders, and that kind is just sort of basic. I don't know. It's not nothing special to me. It's just sort of, it's okay. That's probably my least favorite, but it's not because it's my least favorite because I know vodka's way worse and tequila for me is way worse, and whiskey, whiskey just gets me uncoordinated. Like I don't feel I'm not like my feet aren't under me. And so that's the one I would only have like on the weekends when I'm staying home or, I don't plan on doing anything else with my night if I do whiskey. Beer is kind of I would say is my number 2. I'm going from bottom up. Beer is number 2. And that's because I can have a couple casually and be just fine. And it does relax me if I have more than a few. And it's like a really cool way to spend the night. But wine to me is like that, but better because it takes less long and you feel better. Like it feels like someone's kind of tickling your lungs is what it feels like. It just feels sort of like, like someone's like kind of massaging you from the inside. It just feels good.
I haven't experienced that. I know what you're describing, that warm inside feeling since a long time. I'm surprised I don't see you drinking wine more. I know you're making up for it now. So my opinions or thoughts on alcohol have changed a bit since almost a year. I think it was November last year when you came over and I tried it for the first time and all that. But something big changed, which is, I stopped drinking nearly as much as I had. Not like I was drinking a lot, but the frequency and the amount. I was trying to see what my limit was, essentially. And, like you mentioned, how many beers were you having at one point? You said something like 25, something ridiculous. And you're like, hey, this isn't good. I should just not do that. But you were just brought up to the point where you were so tolerant. So that I walked that back. But eating different has definitely changed how much alcohol I can take, which is very little. It used to be 8 to get drunk. Now it's like 2. If I haven't done it like a couple weeks, I'll be drunk on 2 and like so lame. Anyway, so being drunk is fun for like an hour or 2, but then I don't sleep very well, and that sucks. And that is a result of the food I'm eating, I think, because beforehand I'd sleep fine and whatever. So unfortunately, now I don't care for alcohol as much for the reason that the reward isn't quite worth it anymore. It's not like I'm getting really sick. I just really like being able to sleep well now that I can sleep better. And 2, it's because I was on painkillers like a while ago. I think they were Narcos or something. They're called Narcos, which I assume is short for narcotics. And those were awesome because they felt good and then there was no side effect. So it's like the high of the alcohol with none of the downside. And so now that I've had something better than alcohol is no good. It's like if I've been having sodas for years like I had been as a kid, and then I had an energy drink, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a soda that tastes and feels way better. Why would I ever have sodas again? So the narcotics ruined alcohol for me. No, I'm just the fun has diminished some. I'll still do it though. And I'm kind of glad that I can just have like a couple beers. Anyway, that was a little rant on.
Yeah, I think you were kind of lucky to have gotten into the alcohol game later than most people because you got to just go through the whole experience quick and get it over with. Because
not the whole experience.
Well, most
of it.
Most kids start at like 17, 18 to 21, too early, and then because they're stupid, they just will like keep going for years, and they don't figure out until my age. Oh, that sucks, kind of thing. And they figure out how to be temperate with it. Some of them don't figure it out at all, and it's just because they're. But
I understand. I should say I'm sympathetic. I don't understand. How do I try to say this? As a kid, before I ever actually had alcohol, I understood the idea that people can be addicted to it because it makes them feel good all the time, and who wouldn't want to feel good all the time? But now having had it, I'm like, no, alcohol doesn't make you feel good all the time. It makes you feel pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I wonder about people who are addicted to alcohol. 2 things. One is certainly it's got to make them feel better more than it makes them feel bad, I would think. So maybe for them it works. And then 2, I don't know what the dependency would be like. Like what's alcoholic withdrawal? Certainly that's a thing. I've always thought of that when I was younger, but I've never really, I have no idea what an alcohol dependency would feel like. Because I know caffeine withdrawal is just horrible, but I imagine alcohol withdrawal would be even worse, but I have no idea what that feels like. Do you have some idea what that feels like? I feel like you would.
Yeah.
Because, you're chronic.
Yeah. That's a joke. But
no, it's a joke because you've had more than me, and so you probably have some kind of idea.
Well, I mean, you can imagine. So like any kind of dependency, what that means is that you're so used to a thing that your body adapts more permanently to the feeling of having that. And so,
literally biological makeup. That's what I'm thinking of. Because that's That's the worst part of a caffeine withdrawal is literally how your body's, well, burning energy in some ways and has to find a new fuel source. That's more with sugar. But anyway, like your body's like fucked.
Well, once your body, like this happens with everything in life. Once you introduce too much of a thing, then your natural habitat sort of accounts for the difference. And once it accounts for the difference too much, it sort of gets like, sort of cements itself in that new normal. And so you can imagine if you've had 20 beers a day for a month straight, your body just goes, oh, expect 20 beers. Now we're going to operate normal because your body's desire is to operate at this level, which is conscious, socially aware of predators, all the biological things that bodies are capable of and stuff. But if your body has to adapt 20 beers difference, so that much alcohol, what it does is it produces like the chemicals to balance that out beforehand. And so when you all of a sudden deprive the body of that, you just have a surplus of these chemicals that counteract alcoholism. And I'm speaking it in really crude terms, but essentially that's an overdose of something else, which makes you feel bad. Overdosing anything is just a bad feeling. And so it's like most things, it's good to just have like a decent balance of introducing just enough change to keep your body sort of amoebus and flowing. And, you don't want to... I've been reading a lot about people who do like deprivation diets and stuff where they will eliminate a food type. That
sounds horrible.
They'll eliminate an entire food type. And basically what people are finding is that it's really good for people because their bodies aren't getting introduced to new things all the time anymore. It knows what it's getting. And so as long as it keeps getting that, it's really great. Now, the unfortunate part of that is if you just all of a sudden can't get that thing that your body's used to, it just throws you just for a real tailspin. It just makes you very sick. And I've noticed, I obviously don't do deprivation diets, but I noticed when I did without sugar for a long time, there's a couple different times I've done that. And when I got back onto it, my body just really reacted to it. And, I got weight gain and pain. Like that's kind of like, and it, like the feeling you get right after you introduce the new thing back, your body's adapted to something different. And so anyway, I've been toying with the idea of maybe it's good to just eliminate some things and then just have eliminated them. Don't just don't reintroduce those as it's the thing. So your body can get used to the new thing and just like sort of cement as what it is. But on the other end, sort of like, okay, maybe I should introduce a little of everything so that I'm used to everything in case there's a lack of something. And so it's not such a hard change. But the problem with that is the body's ultimate, like, the impact difference maker. What would you call that? Like the
equilibrium?
Yeah. Well, not equilibrium, but, like the balancer, the thing that your body does to account for difference is fat. That's like what your body does to adapt for all that stuff. So whenever you see, now you're seeing hundreds of people who are, I say hundreds, that's a silly number. There's so many people that are overweight now. And all that
You're
means,
not wrong.
Right? There are hundreds, but there's like that's what that means. All that means is that they are having just a little bit too much of something.
No, I get arguments on both sides.
Adipose tissue is like the one thing that is basically like this is going to take the impact of the blow of difference, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's
really interesting. And technically that's why historically fat was like a really useful thing to have. Cause like you'd survive if you were fat. Now it's like, there's so much plenty that, and if fat is still a good thing, it's just to the point where it's like, if you can eliminate then it's good.
Oh shoot. What's the word? Desirable, preferable amount of fat. There's a called body percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So. Oh, thanks.
Sure.
I just really wonder what alcoholic withdrawal feels like. Like, what's the symptom? How would that be described? I'm sure it wouldn't be.
It doesn't feel good. I've watched people go through it.
Yeah, I don't want it. I'm just curious because, I'm not like dying to know. I'm sure there's all kinds of different withdrawals and different side effects. I just wonder.
You have a terrible, terrible time sleeping. You sweat, cold sweats all the time. You just have a constant headache and you're shaky and just.
Well, I can.
Your body's just like, what the heck? I don't have the thing.
You get sick. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask me an alcohol question. Since this episode is alcohol now.
Is it?
Yeah.
An alcohol question. If you had like a brewery, tell me about your brewery.
It's for gentlemen.
Yeah.
Gentlemen's. It's
What's
like
it called?
I know what it looks like and what it smells like. I already decided this.
Does it smell like the room that I was describing earlier when I was talking about being a golfer and I was criticizing my girlfriends?
No, that's too
Posh.
refined. Mine's gonna. Earthy is a good word to describe it. There's a lot of wood, like a lot of wood.
Good.
And the most. Shoot, what's the word? It's not manufactured. The most manufactured thing in there is the solid polished ebony marble floor.
Ooh.
So it looks very clean there, but everything else is wood. There's a wood bar. And I mean like exposed wood 2x4s. They might be stained. That's it. So you're smelling wood, and you can see through the cracks. You can see wood barrels.
Nice.
Maybe steel barrels or metal barrels, but mostly wood barrels. And there's piping that goes above.
Dude.
So it's all very exposed. The bar is like a huge circle in the middle. Just a huge circle.
Dude, that's awesome.
I'm not finished.
I love barrels, dude.
Said, I already thought about this. Huge circle. And there's nothing in the middle that's too tall to obstruct so you can see the people from across the bar. It's like a big community circle. And then there's wood stools, everything. And then there's a couple or three bars, guys in the middle that run around and do all this stuff.
3 of them.
And then there's another one, another big open section. It's like a long set of tables, and they're open tables where you can grab cooked meats, but the smell of these meats must never be so great to overcome the smell of the warmth of the wood. Anyway, I'm not going to get into much detail.
But if you get closer, then you start smelling the pork. You smell the barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I love that place. So it's a big round counter, right?
Well, the centerpiece of the
That's
place is
sick. You could call it Knights, as in NIGHTS, Knights of the Round Table. And so that's
isn't that
like
what it's actually called? And how'd you say it was spelled?
NIGHTS.
Okay, I was like KNIGHTS.
Like as in
Isn't that
like
how it's spelled? Yeah, Knights of the Round Table.
Midnights of the Round Table. And then
this
like
could
it's
be
just a
great.
place for men
To drink. It's literally for alcohol.
and for cheer.
There's no
cheer and jolly
There's
good
no
joy.
sports in there. There's no TVs. There's very little electronics.
But
It's
there's
just-
talk, there's conversation of sports.
It's all about being with the guys that are with you and meeting strangers, but there's nothing to distract you guys. There's not even there might be a pool table at best, but there's nothing really there. It's just
So no
sit down,
women
have a
allowed?
drink.
No women allowed?
No, they're allowed, but
But it's not for them. This is not about you right now.
they're allowed. But it's up to, no, I mean
Does
whoever
this,
wants to go there who's of legal age can do it, but
That's
the
sick.
odds are probably men will be the ones to walk in there.
That's so sick, dude. Inclusivity. So, okay, the other thing is, do they have to check their phones in at the door?
No, I'm not. I can't infringe on their rights. I'd love to take those rights away, but I can't.
You just have to, can you just say,
But imagine if
hey, you can take it in, but this is the phone pocket and you get this, then just you put your phone in here if you'd like. And that's the part of the experience of this place. And people just know, oh yeah, you put your phone in the phone pocket.
here's a fun idea.
What?
Well, this isn't really sustainable, but generally, hey, if you turn in your phone for your visit, you get a free beer.
Oh yes.
That's a fun idea. But also imagine coming in, that's once a day, whatever it is, but
Yeah.
every day you come in for a free beer. Is that really sustainable? I don't know, but at
Yes.
best I can encourage the atmosphere, but imagine, like I described, there's very little technical luxuries. It's really rustic and pretty crude even.
Yeah.
So who would want to go in there? Probably older guys. Younger guys probably won't bring their other guy friends in there because it's not like they're going there to pick up chicks. Usually just dudes mostly. Anyway,
Yeah, I would hope that it doesn't
wouldn't
turn
take
into
their phones.
It wouldn't hopefully it wouldn't like turn into a gay bar, but like the other thing about it would be like that's the hope. We can always hope. So here's the thought I had. I'm joking, by the way.
Oh, there's so many ways to go with that. And I don't want to let that die. It's too funny.
So the other thing is you should make the biker bar, right? Not the biker bar, but the bike cafe,
the
biker
motorcycle
cafe.
yeah.
And you have a secret speakeasy basement.
Speak easy, baby.
Speakeasy, like a
Never heard
speakeasy. It's like a place. It's a secret underground bar. It's a speakeasy.
Is that like 2 words? Speak easy.
They combine them. It is 2 separate words that were speak and easy, but they combine them because it's a place where you can speak easy. Like that's a place where you go to have secret meetings like Al Capone. You're talking with all your boys and playing poker. and then there's usually soft jazz playing and stuff. But like you could do like the motorcycle cafe, and then underneath, like everybody who's like in the know,
VIP.
yeah, in the know, like nothing sketchy happens there, but it's just a classy underground.
We can only
City.
hope that the VIP doesn't become a gay bar.
Right, we can only hope. That's the prayer. No, it totally can be a gay bar, as long as girls can be gay in there too.
No, that's the VIP. Very important penis person. That's the secret room within the secret room.
Yeah, I like that. And so there's
And to get it, PP.
There's a speakeasy
redundant.
under the speakeasy, and that's for the gay to happen.
What would that be called? The speakeasy. It's more like the do easy, right?
The speakeasy.
P-easy? Speak peenie?
Speak gay.
There we go.
The speak gay. I just legitimately like the idea of like motorcycle cafe is already cool because it's a commune place upstairs, but then it's nighttime and nobody's, the cafe's closed. They're not serving sandwiches anymore. So the bar opens up underneath.
Oh no, an underground guys only bar it's only open at night.
It's just a masculine place. It's not a guys only. We established that. It's just masculine.
Right.
Masculine features, but women are allowed, especially if they're masculine. I bet women would actually really like that place.
Some, but like imagine if this is a storefront place that I don't want to talk about this bar too much, but whatever it is, brewery, I guess is what it's called. If this was a storefront place with a lot of foot traffic outside and you walked by and saw that, if there was taste testing, I imagine lots of different kinds of people would walk in there. But if it wasn't a taste testing, if you order your drink, I don't think a lot of young people would bother going in there.
Oh, sure there would. You just get mostly hipsters.
Yeah, I guess I get a lot of those.
You get
Kinda
tons of
depends
hipsters.
Yeah.
All of the hipsters. Everyone would come to that especially because there's a lot of wood and like the phones in the pockets thing. The pocket phone thing, that is the thing that the hipsters, they crave. They're like, where's a pocket for this? They like are holding their phone. They've already taken like a social justice picture that day with them doing some activism stuff, but then they're like, now I have to put this down and let the Twitter mob go. And then they're like, where's a pocket? And then they put it in the pocket, and then they have a hipster time. That's what
I don't want to think about it too much. But like I said, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't take anything away. I would encourage at best, but that'd be cool. It'd be cool, right? Like, hey,
rad.
if you return your phone, you get a free beer. Really? Yeah. Like, sure, I'll do that.
That's such a manageable thing, dude. You could totally afford that.
Maybe it could be adjusted a little bit, like once a week. That's more as far as sustainable. I'd like the idea of every day, like come in and turn your phone.
Yeah, some bars
you get a beer.
instantly like you pay a cover charge to get in, but then your first drink is free.
I don't know, something like that. Just a place to sit down, and shut up.
Yeah, dude.
Basically.
And you just have like
company of other people at best.
Yeah, you have like one either cellist or a banjo player who comes like, or maybe both. Like they play like this song just with a banjo and a cello, and it's just like ding, ding, ding,
live music wouldn't be bad, but I don't want it to be loud.
That's why
it needs to be chill.
That's why it's a banjo, the very quietest instrument in the world. Everybody knows. Dude, that sounds like a cool place. I'd totally go there.
Me too.
I thought about this. I think it'd be cool. You remember when you'd ever go to like a Olive Garden or something as a kid, and they had paper on the tables and they gave you crayons?
Yes.
I would do that for men.
Yeah.
Give you crayons and you could draw on the table.
You need a lot of red crayons.
Yes. So can we combine our ideas and do the paper on the
really masculine place? You go in and there's paper menus with large print and crayons. No,
he's just drawing like
this. This is like cigar crayon.
But because it's a crayon, you hold it like this with your fists, and then
because you're a man.
Like a kid, like a toddler, because you're a man. You do it like a toddler because you're a man. Yeah, what a good time. And then eventually you can expand. You can have like a sort of a chain of these like very cool secret places, and then one of them will get a very adventurous person who's like a very good cook, and they're like, how about I add a menu to this bitch? And then they're like, I make good lasagna, and then so you have lasagna on the menu. And so eventually it becomes like an underground cool speakeasy Italian serving place where you can get like good linguine on a Wednesday night.
You get lasagna and whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
crayons,
classic pairing.
cigar, lasagna, and whiskey.
Yeah. And a cellist and a banjo are just killing it in the corner. Ding, 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 ding.
I love that. That's so bad.
Yeah. I really think that could totally happen, because that's what usually happens is you get one adventurous person in a chain that's like, we're this, but then they're like, I'm so good at this that you need to do this too. And then they're like, we do. That's what happened to Sheridan's. Because Sheridan's was all like, we do custard, right? But then somebody was like, what about healthy food, though? And then Sheridan's like, okay. And they made Unforked, which is like healthy food. That's Sheridan's, technically. Like, you can go up there and you can be like, can I get a quinoa salad or an ice cream dirt and worms custard? Yeah, right. It's so crazy to me how that happened. Because
that's weird.
I one time went on this field trip to Sheridan's when I was a kid, and I was homeschooled. So it was really special to go on a field trip. Me and another homeschooled family, me and my sisters and their family went. And they showed us how to make custard and how like the machines turn around. And all these awkward people were like telling us about how this works. They were all like teenagers and they're like, and this is the custard stirrer. And they'd like touch it and they'd be like, but we're not allowed to touch it because germs. And then we should all wash our hands. And like, it was just like awkward and funny.
Yeah.
But we were just like, oh. And my whole thing was that like, we get to tour Sheridan's because we're going to get ice cream afterward, right? And they did not give us ice cream.
God damn it.
Like, the fuck?
What's the point of Sheridan?
Why did I go on this tour? I didn't learn anything today. I just looked at your crappy $10 an hour paying job. And you didn't give me shit, you stupid, stupid cuss word.
Custard. Yeah.
Stupid cuss word. Custard cuss word.
Cuss word.
Cuss word.
There it is. God damn it. Why didn't I get that the first time?
Mm-hmm. Did you ever go on any cool field trips?
Well,
because you were homeschooled for a while.
I don't think I did, but I want to stay on alcohol.
You didn't go to a brewery as a kid?
Not as a kid.
You ever been to a brewery?
Yeah.
Well, we've actually eaten at breweries technically, but have you been to like a brewery who's just like solely a brewery?
Yeah, I did. I was in Tennessee, and shoot, I might be driving through there here and not too long. And if I do, I'm going to stop by a brewery if I can, for two reasons. Because one, I just think it's cool, like an authentic like Southern brewery, even though Tennessee's on the eastern side of the country, it's still the South. We're looking for.
There's a gnat by me.
Yeah, there is.
Keep going.
It went by my head a couple of times. I want to stop by there again, and also secondly because I actually would like to drink their stuff now. I think in the brewery I was at, I can't remember if I'm confusing this store with something else, like a candle store, but I smelled all the different kinds of, I think it was a brewery, all the different kinds of brews they had. That was really fun. That was way more fun than smelling candles. I don't know why. If that is what happened, that's what I seem to remember. Have you been to a brewery?
Yeah.
Where was the brew?
I don't remember. I've been to several. I've eaten at some.
You can eat at a brewery?
Yeah. You've eaten at brewery. The
Yard House.
Yard House is a brewery.
It's I don't see it as a brewery. It's a restaurant that has a brewery.
Well, there's a brewery in Lawrence that I used to bank for, and I used to eat there all the time. And I was planning on eating there this week for a date, but then I got lazy and decided to stay home. I made her come to me. I did too. She came over. But yeah, we were gonna. Yeah, that brewery I went to a lot of times. They're actually pretty good. I can't remember the name of them. It's like Free State, I think. So I do remember the name.
Sounds good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
We need to go out to either a brewery or a Yard House again sometime.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you have any more alcohol-related thoughts? Because that's what this is now. That's what you said?
That's what this is now.
Yep.
I feel like...
We've already talked about alcohol for like 3 episodes, but... I guess we're obsessed. Yeah, we've got like...
I thought it was like drugs and alcohol maybe was one episode. Maybe. It was never explicitly about alcohol.
I think it's been at least 2 times we've talked about alcohol. But this was different than the other times, I think, a little bit.
Like we got a pun ready? You had that face like, I got an idea.
Yeah, but I don't.
like we've said, we can revisit certain topics because sometimes it's just more to drink, more to do.
Yeah, did you have any thoughts, though?
No, I could try.
Anime sounds. Yeah. I imagine a really quick cut after the thought, like an extreme scream, like yeah. The temperature of those, you
Cut.
just like go into like a cut immediately once you have the thought. Yeah,
this isn't much, but I cook chicken and we drink beer, and then we'll have chicken and beer, and it's good.
Have you cooked the chicken with the beer yet? By the way,
No, I forgot about that.
yeah, you need to do that.
There's so many different ways to cook chicken I haven't tried. I want to try seasoning chicken in a Ziploc bag with wet, and then I want to put the alcohol in that mixture and let it soak basically, and then grill it. I bet that'd be good.
It would be good. You want to know something crazy though about sealing a thing in a Ziploc bag? We did that one time with raccoon and squirrel. I went on this man trip with men, and we drank, and we had a merry time. We hunted. We hunted squirrel and raccoon. I took one shot and I killed a squirrel instantly. And then other guys, like one other guy killed like 3 squirrels and a raccoon. And him and I were the only guy who killed anything. Only guys that killed anything. But then we skinned them ourselves and we cleaned them. And then we had a trash bag, right? And then we had a thing of Italian dressing. And we dumped the whole thing of Italian dressing in the trash bag. And we threw all the meat in there. And then we like sealed it tight. And we sucked the air out, vacuum sealed it, and then we tied it overnight. And we could take turns shaking it, like that, all night. And then one of us woke like a cup. Actually, I think we all woke up at like 4 a.m. or something, and we lit the fire because it was cold anyway. And we just like slow cooked all that meat over the open fire that had been soaking in Italian dressing. And let me just tell you, raccoon is extremely fatty. We had to cut so much fat off.
I'll bet you that was some of the best meat you'd ever had. Good cake.
It was objectively.
That's still there. God.
It was objectively. It was hard to eat, but it was not bad tasting. It was like pretty
Hardy
good.
because it was a chore.
Yeah, because it was like you had to pick off bones and stuff, and we just, it's just they're muscular creatures, because they've got a lot of woods.
Assholes.
They got a lot of woodsman things to do. They're always constantly running away from things and having a hard
Little
time.
Bitches.
Well, they have a hard time.
Constantly running away from bullets.
They're a fearful creature, so they're running. So they've got a lot of hind legs, muscles. So it was tough, but it did taste precisely like chicken.
Yeah,
the squirrel did. That was the crazy thing. I was like, okay, so it's just a white meat thing, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's good to soak things in Italian dressing, for example.
Now you said dressing. I for some reason was thinking seasoning, but dressing, that's actually like So it was wet or dry seasoning?
It was wet, yeah.
Okay. See, I thought
Italian
it was dry,
dressing, like salad dressing.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I was thinking wrong at first.
And I thought after that, I was like, oh my gosh, what if I soaked this in Caesar dressing? How cool. That would be so yummy.
You want some Caesar squirrel?
Right, Caesared squirrel. I think the reason why, did you know that Caesar dressing has like meat in it, and that's why it's yummy?
Well, I know bacon Caesar dressing does.
Well, like Caesar dressing, like I think like one of the main ingredients for the average Caesar dressing is anchovies. Yeah, but you can make Caesar dressing with like salmon and tuna and all kinds of things that I didn't know. And I was like, we went to Chicago one time and during a blizzard. It was awesome because we got stuck in the snow for hours and we couldn't get out.
That's good.
But then we got to Chicago and we couldn't hardly go anywhere. And so we would only drive within like 2 miles. And the only really good, thankfully it was Chicago, so there's tons of places really close. And so we tried a bunch, but the only like really refined place was like this pizza place that did like Italian pizza. And I was on a Caesar salad bender, dude. I was eating so many Caesar salads, and I went there and I had a freshly homemade Caesar salad, and it was the best Caesar salad I've ever had. And I asked the lady, how do you make the Caesar salad? And she said, oh, they use salmon and walleye. And I was like, salmon and walleye? In a Caesar salad, they usually use anchovies, which is like the shit of fish.
Yeah.
It's like the worst kind of fish you can make. So I was like, that's why it's so good. It's like, it was amazing. I've been thinking about that salad for about the last 7 years. I think I went when I was 19. Like,
to think about food. I think I mentioned this very recently.
Yeah.
Angel food cake. Sound familiar?
Yeah, you did on the show.
I want to tell a story again, but the point is, having something so good that you remember it for all time and you just regret or resent that you can't get it ever again. Probably
that salad by itself, I'd pick it over any dessert ever. Any dessert I've ever had, including the best homemade stuff my family members have made. My dead grandma could make glass cake, and I would pick that Caesar salad over it. And that's nothing No offense to you, dead grandma, because that cake is damn. But I'm just saying that Caesar salad was so good. That was one of the most precious meals of my life. It was precious. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today.
No, this was a topic list. We call it topic list when we don't have anything in mind when we start, but then we just tend to go down a road. Sometimes like last time it was poop. That's what it was. That was good. I think it was poop.
Did you ever watch that whole episode again?
Oh, I always watch me. No, I didn't see it.
It's funny the whole way through. Like I watched it back. I was like, man, we're funny as hell. If I could like pick like an episode that I would say this is the listening show, I'd pick poop.
Yeah, I wish I would say it this way. If I could have a gold standard for our shows, what I want our episodes to all end up being like, it's the one talking about poop.
This one's been pretty good too.
Yeah, I'm certainly
pretty chill.
The important thing to me is that I enjoyed myself, as I always do on the listening show.
I didn't mean to actually prolong or shut it down early. If you've got
no.
more.
Unfortunately, my bottle's empty.
Yeah,
but the moral of the story is I hope you guys enjoyed listening as well. Now, for those of you who are still here, if you're still here, you getting a fart ready?
No, I'm standing up because I gotta stand up.
For those of you who are still listening, if you want to watch as well, quick plug, we have another show, revolutionary, totally different than the listening show. It's called The Watching Show. It also stars both of us with our voices, but it's completely different. And we play games there. So if you want to watch that, you're invited. So don't show up if you haven't been invited.
We're gonna record that right after this.
Yes. I need to drink some more of that wine to catch up to you. But thank you guys for listening.
Have a splendid day, and I thank you for your patronage.
And you'll listen to us next time. Okay, bye. You have to hit the stop button. Yeah. That's on you.